Hey everyone, this is Narun and welcome back to a new session of English with me. Today we are on the 5th episode of our series From Zero to Hero. If you haven't watched the other episodes, please try watching all of it to learn English easily, to speak English fluently. Today's topic is one of the most important tools you will need to speak English fluently. That is listening. Yes, listening can help you speak English fluently. Listening actually trains your brain to understand the native speakers and to imitate it and to speak English like a native speaker. So let's dive in and find out the content that you need to listen to that can help you speak English fluently. Listening to this daily can help you improve your English very fast. So before looking what are the content that you need to listen to, let's first find out why listening is crucial for improving your English. Think of how you learned your first language, maybe your mother tongue. How did you learn it? You listened from your parents, from the people around you, and then you absorbed what you were listening and you spoke that particular language. Your brain was absorbing how the words sounded, how the sentences are formed, like the rhythm of the sentences and the natural flow of conversations. Nobody came and taught you the language. You picked up that language from your surroundings, the people staying around you. You learned it from them. Same like that, listening is helpful for you to learn English. You listened there and learned your native language. Same like that, you should listen to English and learn English. You should find out the rhythm of the sentences, the word structure, how to make a conversation, how words are pronounced. There are different things in English. You can learn all those things just by listening to English. The more you listen, the more your brain will naturally learn the patterns, pronunciations, and grammar of the language without actually you realizing it. You might not know your improvements, but you will have a lot of improvements just by listening to English. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. What should I listen to? What should I listen to if I'm just starting out? What are the materials that I need to listen to speak English? We will look for that today. Don't worry, we are not diving into anything complex or tough. No complex podcasts or Shakespeare dramas here. We are looking for something simple and suitable for beginners. The key is to keep it simple but consistent. Okay, now before looking at that, let me tell you how you should listen to something so that it can be very useful for you. For this material to be useful for you, you need to listen to it properly. And let's see how you should do it. First one, listen actively. Don't just play it in the background. Focus on what's being said and try to understand as much as possible. If you missed something, just rewind it and listen to it again. The second thing is to repeat and shadow. One of the best ways to improve your fluency is by repeating or shadowing. Try to imitate the speaker, their pronunciation, their word structure, etc. This is called shadowing and it's a fantastic way to speak English fluently. Third one, slow it down. Most podcasts, audiobooks, etc. have speed controls. Even the YouTube videos have speed controls. So try to listen to it in slow mode. If something is too fast for you, don't try to understand it like that. Just slow it down and listen to it. And if you feel, okay, this is very slow, like I can understand everything, just make it fast and listen to it. Or if you want to practice it really well, what you should do is first listen to it slowly, in a slow pace, and then listen to it again in a fast mode. Fourth one, use lyrics and transcripts. For songs, find the lyrics and follow it along with the song. When you're listening to a particular song, read the lyrics and understand what are the words being said. For podcasts and audiobooks, look for the subtitles, the transcripts available. And finally, make it fun. Choose things that you enjoy listening to. Whether it's a song or an audiobook or podcast, whatever you are listening to, listen to something that is enjoyable for you so that you stick on to it. Like if you listen to something that is not much interesting, you will lose your interest and you will drop it then and there. You know what you have to do is you should make your learning process fun. You should learn it in a fun way. Now let's look at the materials that can help you improve your English. The first one, podcasts. Podcasts are great because you can listen to it anywhere when you're relaxing, cooking, driving, commuting. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts. But the key is to find the right podcast that is suitable for beginners. I'll tell you some great podcasts that you can listen to. Okay, let me take my notes so that I don't miss any of the titles. The first podcast is ESL Pod. This podcast is one of the best for beginners. They focus on real life English, breaking down the vocabulary, the words and phrases in a slow pace. And that is why it is suitable for beginners. You can actually follow along easily. The second one is Luke's English Podcast. Luke, a British English teacher, speaks clearly, and while he talks about a variety of topics, he ensures that even beginners can understand it. He also gives explanation about the new words that come up so you can actually learn while you listen. The third one is Voice of America Learning English. This podcast provides news and stories in slow English. It is very clear and slow, and it's also great because it not only improves your listening skill but also educate you about cultures and also about current events. Next one, 6-Minute English by BBC. Each episode is short, clear and easy to understand. It covers interesting topics with language explanation. It's best for beginners. The next one, Coffee Break English. This podcast focuses on daily life topics and it breaks down the conversation in a simple and easy to understand manner. Next one is All Ears English. Though it is aimed at intermediate learners, there are some episodes that even beginners can watch. But it's okay if you listen to intermediate content because that is not something very high for you. You can actually listen to this. It helps you understand conversational English and also cultural tips. So these are some podcasts that you can listen to improve your English. Now let's look at some English songs. English songs for beginners. Listening to music is a fun and effective way to learn English. The rhythm, the repetition and that simple lyrics makes it great to learn English. You can enjoy music and can also learn English. 2 in 1. First one, Let It Be by the Beatles. This is classic with simple, clear notes. The lyrics are very easy to understand. They are slow paced and you can follow along. Second one is Count on Me by Bruno Mars. A happy feel-good song with simple lyrics and beginners can easily repeat after this. Someone Like You by Adele. Also Hello by Adele. Her lyrics are usually slow and easy to understand. It's clear. Her singing is very clear. It's very easy to understand for beginners. The next one is Perfect by Ed Sheeran. This is also a slow song that you can use to practice your listening and pronunciation. Imagine by John Lennon. This song is well known for its slow but powerful lyrics. The next one is Happy by Pharrell Williams. This song is repetitive and easy to understand. Also, it's fun to sing along to this song. Yesterday by the Beatles. Another slow-paced, easy to understand song. Also, you might have heard most of these songs recently in Reels, Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. These days, we listen to a lot of English songs by these techniques, by social media. We can listen to a lot of songs. So you might be familiar with some of these songs. Listen to them and start practicing your English. Enjoy and learn English. Now let's look at some audiobooks for beginners. Listening to audiobooks is another way to improve your English. This can help you immerse yourself in English. And the good thing about audiobooks is that you can find various levels of audiobooks available. For beginners, I recommend to start with children's books or classic stories that are simpler. The language is simple to understand. I'll give you some recommendations. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. A simple children's book that is read at a slow pace, easy to understand. The vocabulary is simple and you can listen to it and understand it easily, suitable for beginners. The Little Prince. It's written in simple English but beautiful English. Simple, it's a classic book and it's good for beginners. Third one, Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. Though a bit advanced, this book is manageable for beginners. Why did I suggest this book? Even though the book is a little bit advanced, a little bit. It's interesting. The story is very good to read. During my childhood, I read this book a lot of time. I repeat it and read this book because it's very nice to read. Peter Pan. The story is charming and filled with adventure. The audio version is clear and easy to understand for beginners. Charlotte's Web. Same like the earlier ones, children's book, easy to understand and ideal for practicing English at a beginner level. Now let's look at some radios and news programs in English. All of you might not be interested in songs or the storybooks or anything. So you can try this technique. You can listen to news and learn English. These are specifically made for English learners. It is easy to understand and easy to follow along. The first one is BBC Learning English News Review. The BBC offers special news review in simple English. They focus on explaining words and phrases used in the news. So you are not just listening, you are also learning. You are learning new words by this technique. The next one is CNN 10. This is a 10 minutes news show aimed at learners and younger audiences. The next one is VOA Learning English. Voice of America offers news stories and reports in very slow, clear English. It's perfect for beginners. It helps you improve your listening along with current events. So, these are some resources that can help you improve your listening in English. Now you have got some great podcasts, audiobooks, songs, a lot of stuff with you. Now what you should do is, you should listen to them effectively. Like I told you in the beginning, the ways you should practice listening to improve your English. You should follow, you should listen to, and you should practice English like I have said. That's it for today's video on what you should listen to in English to help you speak more fluently. Remember, the more you listen, the more better you will get at listening and speaking English. Let me know in the comments which books, the audio books, podcasts or songs you are excited for. Also try to comment down any other audiobooks or songs or any listening materials that you know is good for beginners. In the next episode, I will help you practice listening. We will have some fun activities to improve your listening skills. So guys, this is all for today. I hope this video was helpful. I'll be back with a new video soon. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Bye.